absolutely hate the bickering that I see online between black men and black women. Now, I know some of the stuff is just for entertainment value, like I get it, but just the general conversation and the general sentiment that exists between black men and black women in the community, it disgusts me. I absolutely hate it. And the reason being is because I actually think it's destructive and it's genocidal. And I've said this before and I say this again. If people don't get it together, it's rest in peace, Black America. It's rest in peace. Because anytime you have men and women who should be working together, fighting against one another, competing against one another, damaging one another, there is no community. There is no hope for a community. There's no hope for a community at all. It's like we're tearing down our own house. At that point, you're tearing down your own house. And I pray to God daily. I pray to God daily that I would live a life and that I would be a person that would make a difference. That I would be a person that would actually do good. And not only my own life, my family's life, but in the Black community and those around me. So that is my prayer. But I would be lying if I was to not say that there is a huge issue that continues. And I don't want to celebrate women who all they do is just bash men, especially black men. I don't want to celebrate that because I don't think that's worth being celebrating. I also don't want to celebrate black men who all they do is sit around and bash black women. I think it's possible to have a space, to have an honest discussion, discussion, a constructive, discussion, and say, okay, here's what's going on. Here are the reality of the situation. Here are the challenges. But it should lead to somewhere. I think anytime something just becomes about just bashing a people group, then it's not even constructive anymore. It's simply destructive. And I'm like, what other communities do we know out there where money is being made off of their drama? Like, I literally feel like the relationship between black men and black women, and I'm talking the general relationship. Of course, there's black couples out there and families that are, doing well and healthy. But just generally speaking, the general relationship between men and women in the community at all, it's like, to me, a bad divorce. It's like a couple that's been married for a few decades, and then they decide to get divorced, and it's disgusting and volatile, and it's heated. Like, to me, that's what the relationship of the black community seems like. It seems like a bad divorce. Both sides and their feelings, both sides pointing and saying it's your fault, and nothing ever gets solved. Nothing ever gets changed. It's so, I say all the time, it's like, okay, if we can't learn how to work this out, it's rest in peace. It is literally rest in peace. Because again, anytime you have men and women who generally would be coming together to create a community and to create certain generations, when the step in that process is dismantled, when you have men who, what do they say? It's like 51% of black men are single and childless. Like, if that numbers continues and men and women don't find a way to actually come together and build families who actually make up communities, I mean, it's self-explanatory. And I'm like, literally, if racism stopped today or tomorrow, if there was any more issues that the black community ever had to deal with, if that was all just magically taken care of, our own behavior in and of itself would still lead to genocide. It would still lead to genocide. If you have women who hate themselves and who hate men and who automatically assume 90% of the time that their men are going to prefer Becky or going to prefer a white girl or whatever, then it's like, that in and of itself is genocidal behavior. And if you have black men who just don't respect black women for whatever reason, they've been either taught not to, or because they still just don't see black women worth respecting because of behavior, whatever it may be, that's still bad. Either way, it's just bad. It's just bad. It is a bad lose-lose situation. So I don't say this lightly, but sometimes I wake up and I go on my computer and I am disgusted. I am disgusted at the amount of garbage that I see regarding the community. It makes me sad. Like I know it can be entertaining sometimes. I mean, we can find entertainment value in some of these videos just because they're funny. But if I really just take a step back and I look at this and I'm like, this is not a picture of health. This is not a picture of a community that is thriving and doing well and building and growing. And that makes me sad. So like I said, I pray to God every single day and I will continue to do so. I'll continue to do so and say, Lord, help me to be the change. In whatever little way that I can, little or big way that I can, help me to be the change. But like I said, I would be amiss and I would be lying if I was to sit here and say that what is going on and what continues to happen and even what continues to be celebrated is not problematic, because it really is. But those are my thoughts. I mean, what do you think? Am I off base here? Am I just making too much of it? Or do you seriously feel and see that there is a big problem going on that, if not addressed on a mass scale, will lead to genocide? Let me know what you think. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we will talk later.